By Ishmael, what picture is forming in your province?
Well, good morning. Well, we are still here at the IEC at the Rock Station here, where the votes are trickling in. Earlier on, when we check around 6 o'clock, when we check the stats on the visuals here, we could see that the ANC was there still leading, followed briefly by the DA, the EFF, and that is the situation up to now. Earlier on, when I spoke to one of the officials from the IEC, said out of the 19, we've got 19 municipalities in the province, and in total we had about 1,529 voting stations, and out of that they had already managed to capture 364 voting stations, and at that particular time they were left with 1,165 voting stations to capture. So it's still work in progress, but earlier on we were out of electricity for about 2 hours. Just before you came back to me, we just had electricity that has been restored. But to tell us more about voting, I've got with me Matabo Rasengane, who is the spokesperson of the IEC, just to give us a clearer picture of the situation so far. Matabo, good morning and welcome again.
Good morning.
Tell us, in terms of voting, where are we in the province so far?
Well, all voting stations are closed. We closed at around 11, the last voting station, and capturing started, or counting started after that. And after counting, results were pouring in at our MEO offices. And the auditors are there as well. And here as well, we have auditors that are busy confirming what has been captured so that we can broadcast it on our screen. So that's what we have been doing so far, and we are happy with the progress. 364 already captured out of the 1529 that we have. It's a progress, slowly but surely.
Earlier on, we were without electricity for about 2 hours. Electricity just came back as we were about to speak. Let's speak about the challenge, and as the IEC, how are you dealing with that so that work can progress smoothly here?
Well, we had a commitment from ESCOM or Centlec that we won't experience such challenges, but it's some of those things that are out of their control. Apparently, this whole area of Hamilton ran out of electricity, hence they came back with a backup generator.
And from here, what can you expect with other regions that or other voting stations that still need to, forward their numbers?
Well, we can expect an increase, of course, of these ballots that have been captured, and we are expecting that at least by 4 o'clock will be done. Because, of course, our colleagues are still a bit exhausted. Some of them went home to rest. But we are expecting that at 4 o'clock we'll have all the results and verified so that we know what is happening.
And we know that on your stats, the Free State, you had about 1.4 million registered voters. In terms of people who managed to go to various stations to cast their votes, how are the numbers up to when captured? Have you been seeing a good number of people going to make their mark? Can you give us the clearer picture?
Okay, we've got 1.4 million voters so far with the stats that we have. Even though it's not complete, we have about 680,000 that casted their ballots. This is excluding day 1 and day 2 of special votes. It's only yesterday's stats that we have. It's not complete, like I said. We are just about to reach 50%, because our 50% will be more or less 700,000. So we are expecting that after compiling all the statistics, we would have reached at least 50% of our voters who have casted their votes.
And remember, just a day before Wednesday, we had some other areas in the Free State, in Volgenskroon, in Marquardt, where people were protesting, service delivery protests. But in those areas, as the IEC, how did you manage to continue to conduct voting with regard to those challenges?
With the assistance of the SABC, of course, they beefed up security in both areas. In Volgenskroon, the voting station that was affected, it was a side hall, and we moved everything to the main hall. So voting continued or proceeded as expected in the main hall. And in Marquardt, the 12 voting stations that were affected, they opened late around 10 o'clock, but because SAPS was present, then our security was beefed up and our voters managed to go to the voting stations without any interference or hindrances.
I know that provincially, when can we exactly know the final stats to know where are we standing as a province?
Like I said, around 4 o'clock this afternoon, we'll probably have everything. We are working as hard as we can that we capture everything and we balance our statistics as we get them from our local offices. So by 4 o'clock, hopefully, we will have all the results.
Well, Desiree, that's what we heard from Mathabara Singane, that is the spokesperson of the IEC in the Free State, and it's back to you in the studio, Desiree.
Thanks a lot there to Ishmael. Now to a province that also has a deviation